game.
So let's talk about the Nova roster, because we do know exactly what's going on there. This is a very late scaling teamfight composition. This is going to do really well at finding isolation.
Of Season 1 of Wild Rift Esports, the first ever Icons Global Championship. That match will begin to come underway. It's both of these teams, once again, recognizing they have come so far, their journeys, so much challenges and obstacles to get to this very point.
And of course, they've played before. Nova knocked JTeam out of the lower bracket of the last chance qualifier. That's why JTeam only got here on a technicality, because OMG weren't able to make it. They weren't supposed to play on this stage, and they fought their way through the play-ins, and they fought their way here to a grand finals for a chance at revenge.
And it wasn't easy. That journey wasn't easy. During the playoffs lane, and that's why we see Cherry hovering around a little bit, I thought.
Are they going to go for a dive? Yes, they are. DY with the Justice Punch flash. Cherry comes in for reinforcements, and it is first blood of the grand finals for Icons.
Yami instantly backed. They just wanted to poke at it while Cherry got the Rift Herald up top.
And I feel like there's going to be take 2 of that, because DY and Barry are still here. They can have Winds of War, they can poke using the Inner Fire, and they're keeping Nova so busy right now.
Yami looks for another knock-up here onto Barry, is forced out. Hasn't popped either Exhaust or Flash. Dragon burn down by Long is secured. Cherry, meanwhile, picks up Rift Herald on the other side of the map. Pan forced to flash away to the left side of the flank. Dawn comes in for the rotate. Cherry almost thinks about diving Itse, but backs off.
But they're also low HP. Here comes the Rift Herald.
It's about to crash, and they're going to get First Blood Tower. And
they're stalling them.
Yeah, they're stalling them, but they're still going to get it. Absolutely. There you go. But look at top side. That's also about to fall. JTeam is getting everything off of the map.
This is absolutely fantastic. JTeam have stalled the recalls from Nova. They got so much tempo rewarded for them off of an objective play that only should have been maybe 1 turn at most.
Long in trouble.
Cherry forced to flash over the wall. Yami! Long smites him down.
Engaging with the big shockwave knockup coming from Yami in Remake.
Oh, look at this. JTeam, they threw down the Rift Herald, so now they're forcing Nova into a conundrum here.
Very clever. Splitting the fight, forcing Nova to deal with the Rift Herald, pushing down mid, otherwise they might lose even an inhibitor. Long!
Wait, Long is in there without the rest of the members there. Nova gets another 2-man knockup with Yami. Can they follow up the package? Neon is looking for the angle. That's a beautiful package. It splits JTeam down the middle, but Cherry is able to distance himself with a beautiful flash. Neon is stuck, flashing over the wall with the Valkyrie, but it's Barry that follows up, singles out the mid laner for Nova, and that dragon is theirs.
The push and pull of JTeam, their target prioritization, they made sure that the primary target that they should eliminate first is Long.
We are all about burst. JTeam don't win an extended brawl, so they need to isolate members, play the team fight well in communication, and burn down single targets.
Dawn might be caught out here. Yami gets the knockup down. Dawn doesn't have flash from before. Dominus, the stun coming in from Yami, but Stasis is popped. 1-man knockup. Neon comes in. Can he get the last rocket? No! He survives! But the 2-man knockup from Yami finds another one. And did JTeam just get themselves baited into it? Nova have not dropped a single member, and that's 2 off the field for JTeam.
Baron is up on the map, and Nova Esports have stalled it out. Guaranteed that JTeam can't take the Baron, and they're going to press this advantage as much as they can, try to close the gold gap, and keep this game going.
Yeah, look at Pan here, his positioning. I don't think they can defend this second-tier tower, but that's going to hurt.
2 turrets.
2 turrets, that's going to hurt a lot, because what you just said, TJ, Baron is up. That's going to hurt. They do not have, and therefore, if they throw their bodies onto North Nova.
All right, onto DY. Can he buy as much time as he can for the rest of JTeam? Dawn is looking around the corner. They jump right onto the Crocodile. Get his flash scout. Get the Dominus out. Neon gets caught up in the Transcendent Embrace, but is able to Valkyrie away. Cherry on the left side, looking for Yami onto the backside. That's the poke down from JTeam. Snipes out Yami, but it's a re-engage from Long. Finds the counter-strike stun. Goes golden. Has the stasis. Going invulnerable. Tapping another stasis from Pan, but he's separated. He flashes over the wall. He's out of there!
That's an insane fight. So many stasis, so much stalling in these fights.
But JTeam, they stalled it out. There's enough time for Neon to now walk in with package. 7,000 HP. Nova, they're the ones that now can challenge for the dragon. They're the ones with the onus to burn down the dragon. They have to force JTeam to walk into them, to walk into a package. You have Itse finding a 1v1. Oh, huge Transcendent Embrace. The package is going to separate the members of JTeam away from each other. Yami and Long onto the left side of the fight. Cherry looking for Neon. He's got the Hexagon Ultimatum. He's separated from the rest of the fight. He's got no more reinforcements. Can he clean it up? He's got a GA. He's still living, but now he has to fight a 1v3.
What?
But he's got help. He's got Yami. He's got Yitse. The knockup on the Barry. He's been isolated. Nova will win the fight.
Yeezel left the fight and TP'd back into it in order to give Nova the edge, a bigger HP bar, and the Elder Dragon. They've come back into this game, Riku.
It's so crazy the fact that Long was basically 1v3ing the people from JTeam in the Dragon Fit. He's so fine, and he doesn't even lose his Guardian Angel.
Here's DY.
And Yami is giving no chance at all. No one can enter this pit. DY would have to time the gusts of Winds of War, but the smite from Long is accurate, precise. Elder is secured for Nova.
And because of DY's death, JTeam are going to have to scrabble for and the game maybe for Nova Esports.
Another pickoff maybe onto Cherry. It's Yisei that is forcing the fight. Cherry not going to burn the Hextech ultimate anytime soon. Just as I say that, he locks him down. But it's a two-man knockup once again from Yami. And Cherry's been picked off. Transcendent Embrace slows Nova in their tracks. But you've got to deal with now Long, who is super fed. And he is on
this game's
line.
It's over.
Nova pushing forward, knocking down JT members one by one.
They waited too long.
They did. Again, that's the big 15-minute mark where Long is going to scale incredibly well, and no one at all can 1v1 him.
They're just diving past 3 towers, guys. They have no fear. They know that they have finally regained control of this game and are pushing for the win.
And JTeam gets sloppy a couple times in a row, leave isolated members alone, and it costs them game number 1 of this grand final.
Damn.
Whew!
Damn.
That was intense.
For Nova to come back after a 5,000, 6,000 gold deficit?
I know! I know!
He's making a big arm gesture right now.
It's shocking because it felt like JTeam had that. They got 3 towers.
They did everything right.
They did everything right, except during the team fights where they were a little bit scattered. The strength of JTeam's composition is that it's an anti-long composition. They're able to...
Yeah, because they showed a Nunu. You just block every snowball.
Yeah, you got Tidal Wave, you got Shockwave, you got the Nunu Snowball as well. You got the Riven Engage. Morgana is a perfect pick here.
Look, I'm gonna be very real with you here, right? The Nunu just wants to snowball ganks in the early game. But he has a mid laner that gives him zero problem.
Having to roam, having to gank to get that early lead for the rest of the team.
Right, and they do need to get that early lead because compositions like the one JTeam are running rely on that initial engage being deadly. And over on Nova, they have tools to avoid that initial engage.
And one thing that is incredibly interesting is that we see double utility, Nami, Orianna, with a lot of healing and shielding, but it's an early game snowbally champion that they're gonna make sure that they raise. Not a Vayne, not a Kaisa.
It's about the Lucian.
It's about the Lucian early game.
And Barry and DY are doing a great job of trying to push that advantage early. They forced it.
You talked about this TJ with the shields and the engage that he provides, first gank of the game.
Cherry already trying to find an opportunity here to make the first gank possible. Long answers back, but he steps back into the parallel convergence. Huge stun onto Cherry, and the knockback from Neon might have sentenced Cherry down. It is first blood for Nova this time around.
Okay, I understand. I understand that you want to gank mid lane. You want to gank mid lane because Neon is super squishy. You have a lot of damage. Team fights, they need dragon fights. But so far, Nova has been trading, has been avoiding them, and they're doing a good job.
I love that you highlight that because that's exactly what Nova did a couple of moments ago, right? When the Rift Helm was up for grabs, they dodged it.
Oh, but it is the snowball that counter ganks Long. But however, they've brought 3 members to the party. But Shockwave! Shockwave onto 3 is going to send Nova into a conundrum, and they've got to retreat. The rest of the reinforcements have come through for JTeam. DY with a beautiful tidal wave cuts off the exit route for Nova. 3 have been wiped.
Frontline tank and not killable in this mid-late game is how JTeam are going to be able to win team fights.
Looking for another snowball here. It parts the Nova like the Red Sea. The rest of the members of JTeam have to follow up here, right into the choke point. But look at Neon, approaching from the left side of the flank, keeping Barry at a distance, the main damage dealer alongside Pan. Dawn trying to frontline, but realizes the rest of the damage dealers were zoned off by Neon, so he could not capitalize and has to retreat from the fight.
There's so much poke here.
Long looking for another one. Parallel convergence doesn't get the stun down on anyone. It's a flash out of Pan, and JTeam are retreating from the river.
Really good combo there by DY and Barry to get Barry out of the fight when Neon threatens him, but there's the problem. Neon is scary enough to force Barry away. He won that 1v. Well, that's the scariest part here is we're talking about how you need to kill Pan. Nova have exactly the tools to do that, and they're hunting.
Nova have already secured entrance to the river. Knock up onto Cherry.
Woo!
Half HP.
Shockwave.
Absolute zero. Force
Cullen.
out, but nice shockwave from Pan, and now forces the retreat from Nova.
You see the Orianna damage truly online. They're half HPing some of the tankier members of Nova.
Layer all of these things to win.
And they need Dawn to get into the front lines
Cherry.
to find those stuns. He's on a flank now.
Revving
half
it up,
HP
but
on the
Yami.
dragon.
You got it.
Yami, good guy. Yami tanks up the snowball, ensuring that Cherry cannot get into the pit. Nova cleanly take the dragon without any meaningful contest. JTeam are still pushing for any stragglers here. And it's a hero's entrance from Yami, being able to re-enter the fight, cutting them off. But Shockwave is huge! The bubble from DY follows up beautifully! And the rest of JTeam are able to get massive damage down on a remake, down on a long, Neon almost biting the dust, barely managing to survive.
I don't know if that's enough, Mark, but it is a window. It is a chance for JTeam to get back into this game because it is not just those 2 kills. It is instantly going to convert to a massive swing at this Baron.
Yeah.
Nova do not have a jungler on the board for 30 seconds.
And it's Nunu too. You can burn this down with Consume easily. You can take it up without any contest whatsoever from Nova. Baron swung over to JTeam in these fights and single-handedly wipe out multiple members here on Nova.
Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. There's only a minute left on this Baron,
Oh!
and Dawn has gotten caught out again.
Long heard us talking smack on here on the casting desk. And the rest of Nova making the defense happen 5-on-4 with Baron. Buff still on the side of JTeam for 45 seconds.
Yeah, this is the window that Nova has to take. They have to make sure that they don't lose more towers. They have to attack now while Dawn is gone for 30 seconds.
And none of these inhibitors are under threat, which means I think Nova have done it. They find a catch out of this game. Neon may be meeting him, but Long's catching up. Long's hitting his biggest power spike, so it's remake.
Neon with the hole breaker finally calls in Long with the Lich Bane empowered auto attack to knock down the turret with ease. Nova playing the turret splitting game.
They're playing that turret control game because they're setting up here. Oh, Cherry!
Cherry consumes, smites it, but was it worth it? Gets completely caught out. Absolute zero doesn't save you in that
They're gonna need to do
instant.
something truly incredible here.
4,000 HP, 2,000 HP. It is secured by Long, and the Shockwave is only clipping the frontline members. This parallel convergence separates JTeam from its front line. Yeetze and Dawn battling out as the frontline members. Huge bubble from DY clips the members of Nova, but they got what they wanted in the Baron.
They do have a respawn from Cherry right now. He'll be racing across the map.
What the damage, Long?
Oh, Long is about to single out Pan here. Oh! Long can do no wrong when it comes to assassinating crucial members of JTeam.
It's so good because you can tell Pan wanted to dodge the parallel convergence, but in the end, the chrono break is there.
A deep dive now against the inhibitors. Now for a 2-game lead in this grand final. Nova have a minute left on the Baron, and they run the map with the Elder Ocean Dragon up.
Dawn and Barry are the only members alive, but I don't think there's any way they can walk into that pit. The laners to step up. This time around, Long repays the favor as Yeetze in a 1v2, buying as much time. Yami comes in with the hero's entrance, but the rest of Nova are getting work done on the bottom side of the map. Neon is already on the base.
For the Nexus.
Long is hitting the Nexus. Neon's on the Nexus. Game 2 belongs to Nova Esports.
What a crazy finish, because it felt so even. But up until that point where Cherry unfortunately fell in battle, getting the blue buff, and then Long finding a pick, on Pan in the mid lane.
2-0 now for Nova. Need force a win, Mark. That's halfway there.
Uh-huh.
Being at the halfway point means that
Yumi
Nova...
shields, you have Yumi heals, you have the Shen ulti as well. I honestly feel like Pan's going to have a really difficult time on his end.
Got a snowball. I mean, that composition on the left by JTeam is Snowball City with Lee Sin trying to get on in, and hopefully the Senna will be able to be a late game insurance. But 3-0 lead, will they be able to do it? Let's send it on over to the casters.
Thank you, Degon. And as the analyst has called it, JTeam have decided to all in on the Cherry Pan early game skirmishing combo. But if that does not get ahead, TJ, they're looking at a very deadly composition that Nova have assembled.
Yeah, it's very difficult for me to see targets for that Zed like Stuart was talking about. And this is big for JTeam, now only 2 games away from losing the grand finals. What a run they've made to get here.
When you go back to the beginning of the overall Wild Rift Esports season and you follow the WRL, JTeam were dominant in the regular season, the #1 team. But then when it came to the playoffs, a best of 3, a best of 7, they fell in the end to FPX. And it came down to last chance qualifiers where they lost to Nova in a best of 7 and then to OMG in a best of 5. So the fact that JTeam have made it here by chance...
Also has shielding, and the fact that, okay, Pan doesn't get kills early game, let's do 4-1.
Wow.
Early invade.
But if you're looking at this and you say, okay, well, we can't gank any of these lanes.
Whoa!
What can you do?
Surprise!
Knew the homework assignment that Cherry assigned,
Whoa.
being able to follow up, but it is Nova with the collapse, extending on to Cherry and
Everyone.
DY.
So, really scary times for JTeam. Yet again, their early game plan has failed.
Woo!
But Cherry is not going to go into the night unanswered. He finds one more opportunity in
What
the
happened
early...
earlier. Look at his lead right now when it comes to the gold over Long. I think it is an amazing start. Nova, though, I love the response.
Okay, explosive
DY.
cast, body slam, right onto Yami. And he's
DY.
incredibly chunked out. It's just a Yumi, but the Yumi can't be singled out because Long and
Very
Remake...
tanky, especially at the early phases of the game. You get one, you kill one.
They're swinging for Infernal. JTeam matching
is.
here.
Oh, Cherry was waiting in the bush, but Long's got a
Final
cat on his
shutdown.
back, and he's got the heals, he got the shields. Yitze coming in with the Stand United. Another early attempt for JTeam thwarted by Nova.
What a combo! Final chapter ties down Cherry and Berry, and then they drop the package right on top. It is disastrous for JTeam. It can take a hit as well, especially with Yami riding along.
Here comes another fight. Cherry looking for the play.
Smash.
Dawn with the showstopper slams Long into the ground. It gets a flash out. Dawn has to tank up as much
Good
damage as he
ult.
can.
Let's go.
Good haymaker. Tanks up the brunt of the damage. Flashes away. Gets out. But now it's up to the rest of JTeam. Can they follow up? Can they look for more onto Yitze? Pan coming in with a flank. Yitze flashing forward, but doesn't realize there's a Shadow Ninja on the other side of the wall, who's now looking to clean up the pieces.
Here comes Neon.
Neon moonfall onto one. Already singles on another. It's down up the Pan. Death mark on the Remake. Can he single him out? Can he get the damage? Burst is almost enough, and he clips him. Pan is on the other side. Yami is chasing him down with Neon, and they're looking to tie down the Rift Herald.
What was that? At the end of the day, JTeam, it felt like they were winning that team fight, that long-drawn team fight, but Neon was still alive all along. Takes advantage of the low health bars. Let's see, though.
Pan got the fruit. He's back in here, poking and prodding away.
Barry coming over the wall as well. There's no smite available yet. Long can just burn this down. That's
Got
the
it.
smite.
And
That's
this means that Nova run the map as we do head towards this dragon.
the engage. Neon,
Oh.
Moonfall forces the
DY.
hands of Cherry to get out. Can't say the same about DY because he had nowhere to go.
Take note, there was just moving forward without Yami, without boost, just as you said. Very brave, because he knows he's 3-2-3.
Okay, Neon looking for the moonfall on the berry. He's maneuvered away from
Whoa.
DY,
Whoa.
and DY can't do anything. He can't get in range. Can he get an answer back? Explosive cast gets the stasis out. Should have enough damage.
Stand United.
Stand with the Stand
Woo.
United, and the taunt finishes him off. He even brought Yami
Thought
for
that
the
he had it. Neon, big outplay. Ize coming in, Dragon now up.
With these kills on the board for Nova Esports, package on the side of Remake, they can completely bully JTeam away from this dragon. Cherry would have to pull out a miracle, but Can he get in range? It's
Wow.
all on Dawn, making the main engage,
Final chapter.
flashing over the wall.
Final chapter wasted.
Long gets the dragon, secures it for the side of Nova Esports. Pan onto the backside, looking for the execution with the death mark, but it's not enough damage, and the rest of Nova have already dealt with JTeam.
Cherry's all alone, making the great escape. He'll slip away. So miraculously, nobody on JTeam dies.
But maybe Dawn?
Oh!
Rift Herald's about to despawn. It might have.
We'll see, though.
Long is burning it down. He gets it right in time before the Baron comes online. Neon in the 1v2, 2v1, because he's got Yami on his back pocket once again. Pan can't do anything about it. Barry is forced off the tower. DY trying to come in as reinforcements, but is bullied by Long, and the rest of the members of Nova have corralled. Cherry knocks Remake out, and he's buying time once again.
Cherry trying his hardest to find something here.
He is. Gets the Crux? Stasis, no.
Nowhere
Not
to
gonna
go.
be enough to survive.
Meanwhile,
Neon.
back on Neon, and he's got Yitse here. 2v3 about to emerge here. Dawn already with the showstopper, locks him down. Face breaker into the haymaker. Neon almost survives, but Dawn clips him out with one more haymaking punch. Remake now back in there, but it's Pan that comes back with the resurgence of damage, and Barry following up beautifully. They've knocked out Yami. That's a swing of gold back into the pockets of JTeam.
3 for 3 suddenly, and even carries that are going to be so deadly the later we go.
Uh-oh, Neon might be caught out here. Long is here for reinforcements, trying to buy time for the rest of Remake to come in for damage. Pan already getting a lot. Neon with the Moonfall splits up JTeam, and they have been scattered. DY has already sent to the fountain. A beautiful taunt flash from Yitse finds the mark onto the rest of JTeam. Pan is able to get the recall off. Dawn has nowhere else to run. A triple kill for Long.
Intense fight from Nova. That was JTeam asking for it. They were the ones that wanted to start that fight. Look at Cherry, though. He has an angle to get a steal.
He's going to need to save this game.
Oh no, Remake Valkyrie there. He's gonna get spotted eventually.
Cherry would have to pull off something.
Yeah, there it is.
Remake spots him out, and he knows he's blinking on HP.
Pan in the pit.
Oh, Pan is in the pit, but can he get damage on the Long? The Crescent Guard is going to block all the Death Mark damage, and they've singled out Cherry on the other side with Yitse. Beautiful guarding of the Nova, and that's a prime
Gaming.
Hey!
See this
Order.
Elder being burned down.
And the package from Remake, he's completely
far.
fine with giving his life. He's not even giving his life because he's got Yitse with the Stand United to make sure he doesn't go down. He eventually gets clipped by Dawn, but Nova have done all that they needed to do to secure the Elder and possibly the game.
That's crazy coming from Remake, but Yitse falls.
Pan finds him with the Death Mark. Can he find more onto Long? Crescent Guard prevents any damage further coming out from the Ninja.
A massive gold lead over to Nova. Now a minute on Baron as well.
DY tries to stuff him, but Neon still has way too much damage. Golden stasis on both him and Cherry. Neon is the one that comes up through, and Nova have 3 members to 1. With Baron buff on their side, they could make the push to put themselves at match point.
They're approaching tournament point mark.
See if they can go 1-by-1 and 1v1 you.
Here we go.
Showstopper right onto Long, but he's got the final chapter from Yami. They've locked down Pan. That's a major
Big
assassination gone from the side of JTeam. They are looking to Barry to be the last one that can defend the base alongside Cherry, but Nova still have 5 members from They're diving the fountain. They have so much confidence. They can drop members and don't give a damn. Nova Esports bring themselves to match point.
In the fountain!
In the fountain!
In the grand final! Nova Esports dived the fountain to put themselves 3-0 in this best-of-7 series.
We're so close to crowning our first ever Icons champions. Nova right now is showing no signs of stopping at all.
And when you look back at history, the last time these two teams met, it was
you know, you can isolate a target. Yeah, you can isolate a target with the explosive cast, maybe the Ziggs, maybe the Corki as well.
All right, so with that just confirmed as well with league admins, Nova deciding not to ban.
They actually decided.
They are just that cool.
It's a little more depressing to look at their side of the stage because well, all the pressure is on them.
Yeah, this is it. This is do or die for JTeam, and meanwhile for Nova, we talked about that they're 1 game away from being the first ever Icons Global champions. And if they do win this one in a 4-0 fashion, that's cementing them truly how dominant they are in
They
the
beat
entire world.
FPX to get here.
Uh-huh.
They took on the best opponents in the bracket. And they stand here not even looking phased so far. We were talking between games. Our biggest criticism of Nova so far this series has been that they look like they're having a little bit too much fun. Last
Yeah,
game,
they want to get this collapse? No.
so the entire game plan for JTeam is to get Cherry an early lead. There's a lot of squishy characters over on Nova. If Cherry on the Lee Sin gets early gold, he can pass it around, get burst damage, win the game.
Yeah, DY tried to get back into the river, but out of position, not on the same sync up.
here.
But Dawn is forcing the flash. You can see that everyone is throwing hands at each other just because they know
This is
how
what map control, tempo control looks like. Because JTeam had enough. Uh-oh.
Nian?
He'll be fine.
I think.
No! No!
And it's just everything. Always at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, it's that rotation. Here we go.
Like now.
DY doesn't have flash anymore. They punish on it. Remake.
kill.
Thought he was about to package forward here, but the rest of the 4v4 is on the other side of the map. It is the explosive cast from DY, scaparating the map. Cherry with the Dragon Trace by the two-man knockup. Long is taken out by Barry, and the rest of JTeam have the damage to secure the first. No! Wait! Who got the Rift Herald? DY secures it, but Remake gets a revenge kill onto Cherry.
Easy might continue this though. We'll see. No, not enough range. Too risky. But Remake kills Cherry.
Han chasing forward here versus Neon. Cherry lives into the second half of that fight on maybe one
DY to
HP.
the body slam over the wall.
Our fight resets here. JTeam backing away, scared of the Nova engage. They need to find one through their burst damage. Use Cherry to start the fight. Pick off key targets.
Pan gets a little bit of burst damage down onto Neon. Oh, it's
Herald in
Yami
mid.
forward. Mega Inferno Bomb. That's the 100th kill of the game for Long. And Nova Esports can continue the pressure. Yitse has got Barry and the rest of JTeam wrangled up here in the blue buff jungle.
100 kills this tournament to Long, and maybe a dragon to their name.
They're still pretty much healthy at this point to keep going. Look at Neon. He wants Cherry's head.
Yeah, Cherry was pushing in the mid lane, gets the Rift Herald unlocked for the mid turret, but gets singled out and forced away by Neon. That ensures that the dragon will go over to Nova.
DY
Will it?
still sticking
DY?
around.
DY tries to steal it, throws out a cast, doesn't make the steal happen. Long secures it. Here comes Pan on a 1v2.
Dawn's coming.
Can he get the damage out? Dawn is coming, is making the charge. Long blinking, but doesn't fall. And Blade Dawn of the Exile out of Dawn. He's got backup here. Barry
They
fishing
want
for
more
poke.
fights. Yeah, this is absolutely tricky. Dawn, very low. They're going
Okay,
in.
DY, body slam, explosive cast, right onto Nova's
Take it!
heart and core. Can they get the damage down? Pan finds it onto Long, shuts down the jungler for Nova. They're continuing the dive. Remake has got nowhere else to run, no summoner spells, and it is Barry and Cherry with the cleanest dive.
The turret juggling
Pop the
by
attack, and they find key kills heading into this second Rift Herald fight.
It's absolutely scary. Remember, the push and pull.
Package from Neon separates members. It looks like they've already isolated one onto JTeam Barry.
Barry.
Can they collapse? Can they
DY gets him
reorganize?
out.
But the rest of Remake has to get out because he was singled by JTeam's front line. And now the reset on the
Neon
Rift
doing
Herald.
really well in this game. We'll have
That's
a
it.
lot of gold. It's down to Cherry in particular to find those
Ooh.
kills.
Cherry forced
Two
the
fights.
flash there. But then another fight on the right side. Barry's been picked off here by Neon. And now Nova can collapse. They have the numbers advantage.
Here comes JTeam. This is the
4v5.
burn on the Rift Herald.
Cherry, can he get in? He has vision, but he can't see
No.
the objective. Long secures it once again. Cherry has to force to give it up. Mega Inferno Bomb ensures that he...
here, which means he's expecting this to go through the long haul. He's expecting that Cherry, Pan, and Dawn are going to be constantly eyeing for an opportunity to eliminate him.
DY finding the body slam onto Long. I don't know if you want to tangle with this warrior. And Yeats is coming for the flank. And Yami is able to tangle that into a two-man knock of the rest of JTeam. Have to find a way, but here comes Neon with the package once again. JTeam have been separated at their very core. Cherry running for his life, popping the stasis, but it only delays his death. JTeam once again routed off, and Bear is the only one left standing.
And Nova came into this tournament with everything to prove. They're not a legacy League of Legends organization. They're not a name that League of Legends fans will have from icons and crown Nova world champions.
Looking for the pick right now. Dawn and Cherry trying to link up onto Yitse, but he's got too much mobility. And Cherry is forced to flash, but he knows that the rest of the cavalry is coming in. Yitse with the Hextech ultimatum locks him down with the hook shot. He clips him. Precision protocols enough damage. DY with the explosive cast trying to link him up. Leewall long in the 1v3, but it calls in Neon for backup. And the rest of Nova have to retreat here, have to bide their time, waiting for cooldowns. Yami with another grand entrance. Yitse looking for the hook shot. If they get enough damage here, they can push it. They can take everything.
2 dead, including the jungler. JTeam don't have enough to control this map. Baron is up. Turrets are falling in the bottom lane, here in mid.
They'll teleport, but I don't think it's very difficult right now.
A kick onto Yami. They stun him
Caught
down. Grand entrance in the quickness. No way he gets out. He's out of there, baby. JTeam can't even get a pick onto the support. And Neon is looking for the collapse package. They chained onto DY. It's still a 4-on-4 for Nova and JTeam. And JTeam have health bars advantage. They might look to pursue, but you gotta be careful about remakes damage.
This is the best chance JTeam are gonna get. A 1-for-1 trade. Their support for Neon.
Looking for it, grand entrance doesn't clip it, Mega Inferno bomb, only gets Dawn onto the backside, tactical sweep, looking for Cherry, looking for Yitse, Dawn about to fall, and Nova looking to push for the final win, double kill over to them, Nova, it's just one more,
just going
Barry,
down
they're
there.
gonna go down the mid lane, if you take out Barry, you guarantee they are going for it, don't even wait for the Elder, there it is, Nova and a Prime Gaming ace will do it! This is them blasting through the grand finals and engraving their names into the cosmos as your first ever icons!
What a statement for Nova Esports. 3-0 in the final. We didn't know if they were going to be able to complete the sweep, complete the final game, and there it is. Not even close.
It's insane when we look at their journey coming from play-ins. They had a few bit of struggles a little bit when we talk about teams that took games off of them, but it did not stop them. It did not stop them at all. 4-0ing, they took down FPX even in the playoffs.
They had to make roster swaps. They had to come here and beat the best teams in the WRL back to back after climbing all the way out to the play-in stage. And this has got to be the best selfie that they have ever taken.
Damn right, TJ, get the trophy in the picture with you guys. That is your name right. That is yours. You have earned it with every single match.
Nova Esports, your world champions. And it doesn't get better than that. The first ever world champions, earning Nova Esports a legacy that will remain in Wild Rift for years to come.
And I want to go back and talk about some of the struggles that Nova Esports faced to get here. You mentioned it before, Neon was a role swap from